Hydra. Hydra is what happens when you let Nazis get into science fiction. In the Marvel universe, they started as a Nazi science division, then somehow outlived the entire Third Reich by burrowing deep into governments around the world. Their slogan, "Cut off one head, two more shall take its place." And they mean it. Hydra's whole playbook is infiltration. Instead of blowing things up, they slither into power structures and quietly rot them from the inside. You're not fighting an army, you're fighting an infection. They've rigged elections, crashed economies, and even brainwashed superheroes without anyone noticing. One of their cooler and creepier tricks: sleeper agents. People living normal lives, completely unaware they're ticking time bombs until Hydra flips the switch. Makes you think twice about your weird coworker. In Hydra's world, survival isn't enough. They're here to rebuild the world, one conspiracy at a time, the League of Shadows. If Gotham City has a fixer-upper problem, the League of Shadows is its wrecking crew. Founded by Ra's al Ghul, they believe humanity is basically a bad patch of code that needs regular deleting. And when they say balance, they mean burning cities down, not holding community meetings. They've been operating for centuries, quietly wiping civilizations off the map when they get too corrupt. Ancient Rome, maybe a little league magic. The Black Plague, who's to say? They're not big on press releases. Their biggest flex? Training Batman himself, which is kind of like teaching a tiger how to fight before realizing, oops, it hates you now. They're not cartoon villains. They genuinely think they're saving the world, one firestorm at a time. The League doesn't just whisper in the shadows. They light the match and walk away, whistling. Spectre. Spectre is basically if corporate greed and pure evil had a baby, and that baby grew up to terrorize James Bond, short for Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion. Yes, really. This crew isn't here to steal candy. They're into full-scale world domination, led by Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Imagine a cat-stroking CEO from hell. Spectre specializes in making every global disaster somehow profitable. Hijacked nukes? Check. Biological warfare? Sure. High-stakes poker games? Weirdly, yes. They don't just blow stuff up for kicks. They meticulously engineer chaos to keep governments weak, desperate, and willing to sell out for survival. It's not an evil plan. It's an evil business model. When Spectre's in town, it's less spy versus spy and more spy versus literally every corrupt system you didn't know existed. The Brotherhood of Nod. Imagine if a doomsday cult got a tech upgrade. That's the Brotherhood of Nod from the Command and Conquer series. Led by the immortal, definitely not a normal guy Kane, Nod worships a weird alien substance called Tiberium, like it's holy water. And spoiler, it's very much not. They're not just about survival, they're about evolving humanity, no matter how many cities have to melt in the process. Nod mixes religious fervor with sci-fi weaponry, making them basically a Mad Max villain factory with corporate funding. One of their big power moves? Recruiting the oppressed and abandoned. Nod doesn't just promise salvation, they promise revenge, evolution, and a really cool uniform while you're at it. Kane says he wants peace. What he really wants is a seat at the end of the world. The Syndicate. In the X-Files, the Syndicate isn't your average shadowy group. They're the final boss of government conspiracy theories. Imagine the most paranoid thing you can think of, then realize it's probably these guys pulling the strings. They're human collaborators with alien colonizers, cutting deals to save their own skins while feeding the rest of humanity to the wolves. Kidnappings, cover-ups, alien-human hybrids. It's all just Tuesday for the Syndicate. Their power isn't flashy. It's a slow, suffocating grip on reality itself. If something weird happens and no one seems to care, the Syndicate probably made a few phone calls. The worst part? They don't even believe they're evil. They think they're pragmatic, which is, somehow, way scarier. The Court of Owls. Gotham City has a secret ruling class, and it's not just corrupt politicians. It's the Court of Owls, a cabal of elites so old and powerful they make Batman look like the new kid at school. For centuries, they've controlled the city from the shadows using assassins called Talons to correct anyone who steps out of line. Talons aren't just hitmen, they're basically undead ninjas who get stronger after you kill them. Neat. The court's vibe is less, let's fix Gotham, and more, let's own Gotham and everything in it. They wear creepy owl masks, host meetings in creepy owl rooms, and basically treat human life like a messy bookkeeping problem. They don't fight for Gotham's soul. They already bought it centuries ago. The Dharma Initiative. On Lost, the Dharma Initiative starts out sounding all noble and scientific. Let's study electromagnetism and save the world. Fast forward a few years, and they're building underground bunkers, experimenting on animals, and letting random volunteers press a button every 108 minutes to stop. Something very bad. Dharma wasn't evil, just recklessly curious. They poked at forces they didn't understand, then covered it all with corporate jargon like the Pearl Station and the Swan. When things went sideways, they got swallowed by their own secrets. Fun fact, a lot of Dharma members genuinely had no clue what they were working on. Imagine signing up to save whales and finding yourself guarding a cursed computer from melting reality. Dharma didn't destroy the island. They just gave it all the tools to destroy itself. Majestic 12. Majestic 12 is like Area 51's cooler, way sketchier cousin. Legend says after the Roswell incident, the U.S. government set up MJ-12, a secret council of scientists and military leaders tasked with studying aliens and keeping it all super-duper classified. Problem is, no one can prove they ever existed. All we have are leaked documents that look like they were typed by a drunk CIA intern. That hasn't stopped MJ-12 from becoming a fixture in alien lore, video games, and late-night YouTube spirals. Whether they actually autopsied little green men or just invented bureaucracy for fun, MJ-12 taught us one thing. Sometimes the cover-up is way cooler than the crime. Congratulations, you survived another trip through humanity's worst ideas. If you're into that kind of emotional damage, feel free to subscribe. We're just getting started. See you next time, if nothing finds you first.